So yeah, I'm gonna do a poem, and if you like what you hear, I got CDs as well. If you don't like what you hear, still got CDs, and you purchase them, and we can get back to Philly. All right. So they call this spoken word, as if every word heard is spoken, as if God ain't in your inner ear, as if any in here has never broken. Mouth. Maybe I left my higher state and started living out my south, and what I expressed to GPS trying to figure out my route. Maybe you mistook this prayer for performance and you trying to figure out my clout. Well, see, all-star status scatters once the sun decides to spark. See, the North Star is only bright when there's no light and you in the dark. See, people got it confused what they choose to do through this art. God got control over this flow. What I'm trying to show you is the art. Maybe God chose spoken word to be the new trend, and maybe Facebook means the face of book, accepting God as your new friend. Perhaps your profile pic is how you present yourself in all situations, and Satan's visitation to your walls in the form of those annoying applications. Suppose I wrote this as a note, tagged your mind, hoping to get a comment from your soul. Perhaps all of this is just a status update from 6,000 years ago with an attached link to YouTube with the future copied in the code. Perhaps all poets should read from the paper until they learn to play their roles, because if they learn to follow the scripts, they may even save their souls. Because if the director is directing you, your walk will always show it. You never make it past this stage taking direction from other poets. Because as life changes stages, you're going to need more than stage projection. You may need to change directions and face yourself in the resurrection. Maybe God chose spoken word because religion had made us blind, and what we seem to do up here is just the way to hear from the divine. And maybe God just figured, I'll use this foul mouth figure, have them enter bars of wordy flows that seem to come out liquor, have them spit sicker, have them come in a small frame so their brains will miss the bigger picture. Perhaps this is more than a bunch of nerds just toting verbs, and maybe what you just heard is a little bit more than just spoken word, yet we find ourselves poets in these end times, trying to place enzymes within poetically structured end rhymes, internal rhyme schemes, trying to live king's dream on mic scenes. Devoutly we shout them like Malcolm without any means. Without means of support, we sought to lose change in our genes. Bravely we battled slavery to loose the chains in our genes. See, we find ourselves writers on a stage where you don't see me reading what I've written. It's been committed to my gaze. See, I draw a conclusion without using any page. I wage war for a living, still not getting a living wage. See, I find myself some days, unlike myself some days. My back against Facebook walls, unlike myself some days. Poems say SOS, can't find help some days, but then I save myself and give myself some praise. Now, before you say that's sacrilegious, God made me to save me. That's why he made me in his image. See, we find ourselves in games without plays for the scrimmage. We strong to the finish without eating spinach. We toot our own horn. We root our own on. We unfrequentable. We undo our own scorn. We find ourselves with cameras on. We reality TV. I write poems that say he, when in reality it's me. See, we find ourselves shelved between Bible and Quran, beneath spiritual teachers whose teachings can be wrong. Yet we go along with Psalms as pursuers of the surah, seeking God in the pages when his face is in your mirror. We find ourselves just beneath our skins, where we sprout angel wings that's just beneath our sins. See, we find ourselves in each other, find the content of our character judged unfairly by its cover. Religion makes you disregard God inside your brother. Don't think outside the box to find yourself inside another. Don't imprison your wisdom and design yourself. Nobody's built like you. You design yourself. So we must remind ourselves the only truth left to be found is to find ourselves.